Hello, welcome to the National Trade Supply Powered Industrial Truck Program Operator Safety Training. This training is completed in compliance with OSHA 29 CFR 1910-178 training requirements. Let's get started. We will cover several topics during the course of this training. Those topics include, but are not limited to, OSHA 29 CFR 1910-178 Powered Industrial Truck Safety Requirements, the training program overview, company powered industrial truck operator safety requirements, basic powered industrial truck safety principles, equipment inspections, safe equipment operation, safe travel practices, load handling safety principles, and fall protection, the requirements, safety principles, and equipment overview. Being a forklift operator here at National Trade Supply is considered to be a privilege that comes with great responsibility. It is an expectation that forklift operators will operate the equipment in a safe manner within our facility, following all safety rules and procedures. Failure to follow forklift safety procedures or unsafe operation of forklifts is strictly not permitted. Operators involved in such behaviors or repeated accidents in the workplace are subject to disciplinary action up to and including termination. National Trade Supply LLC management reserves the right to revoke operator privileges and/or terminate employment at any time due to observed unsafe operating habits, violation of safety policies, or driver performance. The National Trade Supply Powered Industrial Truck Operator Safety Program is built upon defined training requirements. Operators are required to complete this training prior to operating any powered industrial truck. Training shall include this formal instruction, a knowledge exam, and a hands-on operation instruction with evaluation. Operators shall complete an evaluation for each specific forklift on site prior to operation. Solely completing this training today does not authorize you to operate all forklifts within our facility. The training certification is valid for 3 years from the date of training and shall be renewed prior to the expiration date. Operators will be subject to refresher training at any time when the below criteria is met. The below criteria is only a partial list and cannot represent all scenarios or identified reasons for refresher training. Refresher training may occur when a deficiency in operator knowledge or ability is noted, an operator is observed operating in an unsafe manner, an operator is involved in a collision or other accident, an operator has not operated the equipment in an extensive amount of time where he or she may have forgotten safe operation, or any other condition identified by the operator's supervisor or the National Trade Supply Safety Manager. Powered industrial trucks, or PITs, are divided up into 7 classes by the Industrial Truck Association. Here at National Trade Supply, we only utilize Class 1 and Class 2 PITs. Class 1 are your electric motor rider trucks. Class 2 are your electric motor narrow aisle trucks. Let's explore these 2 classes of powered industrial trucks. Class 1 powered industrial trucks are your electric motor rider trucks. Examples include stand-up counterbalanced rider type lifts, sit-down 3-wheel electric trucks, sit-down counterbalanced rider type with cushion tires, and sit-down counterbalanced rider type with pneumatic tires. Class 2 powered industrial trucks are your electric motor narrow aisle trucks. We use several different variations of the Class 2 equipment here at National Trade Supply. Different types of Class 2 trucks include order pickers, reach type outrigger trucks, side loaders, turret trucks, swing mast, and convertible turret/stock picker style equipment. You will hear several different terms utilized, and all of these terms would be your Class 2 trucks. These terms include the order picker, the turret truck, and the reach truck. Examples of each are displayed on your screen. Please get familiar in classifying and naming each of these different types of equipment. Here at National Trade Supply, we utilize equipment made from several different manufacturers and types of equipment. It is important to orient yourself with the names and types of equipment, as each PIT class could be different Dependent upon your training, you may not be qualified to operate Class 2 forklifts or Class 1 forklifts. Please consult your trainer or your supervisor if you are unsure which forklifts you are allowed to operate. It is imperative that you as an operator take forklift safety very seriously. OSHA estimates that there are almost 700,000 forklift accidents every year. 11% of all forklifts will be involved in some type of accident each year. 90% of all forklifts will be involved in some type of accident during their useful life, and 42% of forklift fatalities are caused by the operator trying to jump from a tipping vehicle. It is important to remember these things as we complete this training and as you begin your position as a forklift operator here at National Trade Supply. Some powered industrial trucks within our facility are equipped with the InfoLink management system. Follow the below steps and review using the interface during your hands-on assessment. Begin by typing in your login number. Your login number is the last 4 digits of your social security number and should be used to log into the InfoLink interface. Select the checkbox to proceed. Turn the key on. Begin the safety check by pressing the start button on the screen. When completing the safety check, pay close attention to the verbiage of each question and answer each question accurately. When answering the question of, "Is the equipment safe to operate?" if you select no for any reason, the lift will be locked out and will require supervisor attention. When done utilizing the forklift, turn the key off and InfoLink will automatically log out after 10 seconds. This will be covered in your hands-on assessment portion after completion of this presentation. Next, we will cover the different types of inspection, beginning with pre-shift inspections. There are multiple components to the pre-shift inspection, including the pre-operation inspection, the operational inspection, determining removal from service, and maintenance inspections. OSHA requires that all forklifts be examined at least daily before being placed into service. Forklifts used on a round-the-clock basis must be examined at the beginning of each shift. The operator should conduct a pre-start visual check with the key off and then perform an operational check with the engine running. Components of the pre-operation inspection include visual leaks, cracks, or any other visible defect including hydraulic hoses and mast chains. Tire condition and pressure including cuts and gouges, condition of the forks and clip retaining pin, load backrest extensions, finger guards, safety decals and nameplates, cables and connectors for frayed or exposed wiring, battery condition, operator manual on the truck and legible, and all safety devices including the seat belt. Each operator shall have the knowledge and ability to understand and read capacity or data plates. Information included on capacity and data plates includes the make and model, the truck serial number, the truck's maximum safe load. Never exceed the maximum safe load of the lifting capacity of the equipment. Upon completion of the pre-operational inspection, the operator should complete the operational inspection. The operational inspection includes checking the inch accelerator, if it's equipped with one, the vehicle's brakes, steering, drive control, forward and reverse, tilt control and forward and back, hoist and lowering control, attachment control, horn, lights, the backup alarm if it's equipped with one, and the truck's hour meter. While performing your inspection, you may come across defects that may indicate a removal from service condition. When a defect is found, you must document it, and if the normal operation or safety of the lift is sacrificed because of the defect, the equipment must be removed from service. The lift shall be parked, shut off, and the key removed. The key is to be secured by the area supervisor via a zip tie and lockout tagout tag. Any vehicle that emits hazardous sparks or flames from the exhaust system would indicate a removal from service condition. Other conditions include when the temperature of any truck is found to be in excess of its normal operating temperature, leak in the fuel system or battery system, a mechanical breakdown, fire, overheating, or leakage of any kind. While accessing and egressing any piece of equipment, it is important that you practice safe mounting and dismounting practices. Be sure that your hands are clean and dry when grabbing handholds. Grasp the handhold and get a good grip. Never grab the steering wheel as leverage. Always be careful with your footing when mounting and dismounting the vehicle. Pull or lower your body carefully into or out of the cab seat. Wear the appropriate footwear to prevent skids. It is important that you do not jump into or out of equipment, as operators often experience ankle, knee, and other extremity injuries as a result of a lack of firm footing when entering or exiting a forklift. When beginning travel, operators should follow the below procedures each time. Begin by conducting a pre-operation inspection. Follow the pre-operation inspection by completing an operational check after starting the engine. Plan your path of travel. Operators should walk or visualize their path of travel prior to operating forklifts each day. Ensure that your way is clear. Sound your horn in warning or use a spotter if your view becomes obstructed. Proceed cautiously down the travel path, watching for dangerous blind spots or pedestrians. While operating the powered industrial truck at speed, operators shall follow the below criteria and safety recommendations. The driver must slow down for wet and slippery floors. The driver must look in the direction of and keep a clear view of the path of travel. The driver must slow down and sound the horn at cross aisles and other locations where their vision may become obstructed. If the load being carried obstructs forward view, operators shall be required to travel with the load trailing. This means driving in reverse and sometimes may require the use of a spotter. Operators shall practice proper braking and stopping maneuvers. It is important for operators to brake slowly and come to a complete stop. Prior to proceeding, operators shall always look in the path of travel. It is important when applying brakes and stopping that operators consider the load in which they may be transporting. Momentum may cause the load to shift or become unbalanced, which can cause the load to fall off of the lift or cause the lift to lose control or steering and lead to an accident. It is important that operators understand the hazards associated with all maneuvers while operating a forklift. When changing direction, such as steering and turning, potential hazards include collision with a pedestrian, another vehicle, or an object. When changing direction, there's a hazard for tip over, and when turning, there's hazard for falling loads following a collision or tip over caused by turning too sharply or too fastly. Operators shall consider the following procedures when steering and turning. Be aware of limited visibility and use extreme caution when driving in reverse. Consider the use of ground guides, rear view mirrors, spotters, or other aids to increase visibility. Operators shall allow plenty of room for pedestrians. Pedestrians have the right of way in any work area. Never assume pedestrians or bystanders are aware of the presence of the heavy equipment in the intended direction of travel. When turning, operators shall reduce their speed to a safe level. Proceed with caution when making turns, especially when working in confined areas or narrow aisles. Anticipate the rear end swing and start the turn as close to the inside corner as possible. Operators shall never complete a turn with the forks elevated. Operators shall never complete a turn on a grade. The forklift may tip over laterally even on a very small grade. When traveling on inclines, operators shall drive loaded trucks forward going up a ramp with the load upgrade, and drive in reverse going down a ramp with the load upgrade. When trucks are unloaded, operators shall always drive unloaded trucks with the forks downgrade. When traveling in reverse, operators shall keep a clear view of their path of travel. Look in the direction of travel, and do not grab the overhead guard when traveling in reverse. This could expose the operator's finger to serious injury in the event of an accident. Traveling in reverse may require use of a spotter due to blind spots or confined areas. Operating a powered industrial truck here at National Trade Supply requires operating trucks around loading docks. It is important that operators maintain a safe and careful approach when operating around loading docks. Be especially careful in loading docks, staying away from the edge. Do not operate a powered industrial truck near an open dock door that does not have a truck or trailer docked at it. Powered industrial trucks are never to be parked or left on the dock, only permitted to move across the dock in continuous motion. At no time is the turret truck permitted to cross a dock plate due to its weight. While operating a forklift, it is crucial to maintain a safe travel distance. Operators shall maintain a safe travel distance of 3 truck lengths from other trucks while operating in the same direction. Operators shall anticipate actions and movement of other powered industrial trucks in the area and exercise extreme caution when operating in high traffic areas. Some areas of our facility utilize wire-guided vehicles. Wire-guided vehicles must be operated on the provided wire guidance while within equipped areas. In the event of a power outage or building evacuation while operating a wire-guided vehicle, bring the vehicle to a complete stop. Lower any forks or platforms completely to the ground, shut the equipment off, and exit the racking area until power is restored. Let's discuss safe travel practices. Keep your arms or legs inside the confines of your vehicle at all times. Watch for surface obstructions. Even a small bump can cause a load to fall off elevated forks. Never drive up to anyone who is in front of a bench or any other fixed object. Do not travel into a position where a coworker could be pinned between the forklift and any other object. Never carry passengers. Always look in all directions of travel before proceeding. Always maintain a clear view of the path of travel. Maintain a safe distance, approximately 3 truck lengths from the truck ahead. Operators should consider the use of spotters, rearview mirrors, or other aids to increase visibility. Where available, use concave mirrors when entering buildings or aisles. Forklifts should have headlights if working at night, outdoors, or in any area where additional lighting would improve quality. Drive slowly into and out of warehouses or other buildings. Going from bright daylight into a darkened warehouse may blind drivers just long enough to hit another worker, vehicle, or object. Keep a clear view. Look in the direction of travel. When reversing, look behind. Slow down and sound the horn at cross aisles and other locations where vision is obstructed. According to OSHA definition, a powered industrial truck is considered to be unattended when the operator is 25 feet or more away from the vehicle, even if it remains in their sight, or whenever the operator leaves the vehicle and it is no longer in his or her sight. When a powered industrial truck is left unattended, load engaging means shall be fully lowered, controls shall be neutralized, and power shall be shut off with the brakes set. Wheels shall be blocked if the truck is parked on an incline. When parking a powered industrial truck, it is important to remember the following requirements. Select a hard, level surface. Fully engage the parking brake. Lower the load engaging means, or the lifting mechanism, fully to the ground. Tilt the mast forward slightly and lower the forks to the floor until the fork tips touch the floor. If the lift mechanism is disabled and the forks cannot be lowered to the floor, attach a warning tag to the tip of the fork and position the forks away from pedestrian paths of travel. Neutralize the controls. Set the direction lever in neutral and lock the mechanism if available. Turn the key to off and stop the engine. When handling loads, follow the following safety precautions. Secure the load so it is safely arranged and stable. Do not carry damaged merchandise unless it has been secured by wrapping or banding. Center the load as nearly as possible. Use caution when handling off-center loads that cannot be centered. Distribute the heaviest part of the load nearest the front wheels of the forklift along the forklift backrest. Do not overload. Know the stated capacity of your forklift and do not exceed it. Let's continue our discussion of load handling by next discussing approaching a load properly. Approach the load slowly and carefully. Stop approximately 8 to 12 inches in front of the load. Be certain that the truck is placed squarely in front of the load and that the forks are at the correct height. Set the direction control to neutral. Next, let's discuss proper mast position. Use extra caution when handling loads that approach the truck's maximum rated capacity. Tilt the mast back and position the heaviest part of the load against the carriage. Travel with the mast tilted back to keep the load stable. Use extreme care when tilting loads. Do not tilt forward with forks elevated except when picking up or depositing a load. Tilt the mast forward cautiously when positioning the load onto the stack. Never travel with the load tilted forward. Tilting the load forward increases the load distance and makes the load less stable, which can directly affect the lift's steering ability. Next, let's discuss proper fork position. Level the forks before inserting them into the pallet. The forks must be placed under the load as far as possible. Slide the forks into the pallet until they are fully under the load. Center the weight of the load between the forks. Tilt the mast back carefully to stabilize the load. Pick up an off-center load carefully. There is greater danger of tip over when picking up off-center loads. Next, let's discuss how to properly lift the load. Check that there is adequate overhead clearance before raising the load. This is especially true when high tiering or in a confined space like a truck trailer. Carefully lift the load up above the lower stack approximately 4 inches. Lift the load clear and then tilt the mast back slightly to rest the load against the load backrest extension. Ensure that the load does not catch on any obstructions. Slowly return the lift control lever to the neutral position. After lifting the load, the operator shall safely lower the load. The mast must be carefully tilted backward to stabilize the load. Ensure the load is secured before moving. Carefully tilt the mast backward to stabilize the load. Slowly move the truck to 8 to 12 inches away from the stack. Stop the truck. Return the mast to the vertical position before lowering the load. Lower the load so that its lowest point is approximately 6 to 8 inches from the floor. While traveling, keep the load at a safe travel height. Handling loads at National Trade Supply includes handling and working with high bays. High bays have weight capacities which should not be exceeded at any time. Rated load capacities are indicated on signage placed conspicuously throughout the high bay rack areas. When placing loads within the high bay racks, loads should be placed heaviest to lightest. This means heavier loads shall be placed on the lower 2 or 3 storage sections, with the load decreasing in weight the higher they are placed. At no time are the RC forklift or reach truck permitted within high bay racking areas. One of the most serious hazards associated with handling loads is the potential for tip over. There are 2 basic types of tip overs in a forklift. The first type being forward tip or longitudinal tip, and the second type is lateral or side tip. In case of a tip over, operators should remember these safety procedures. Don't jump. Stay in the forklift. Hold tight to the steering wheel. Brace your feet. Lean away from the side of impact. Lean forward. Operators of stand-up forklifts with rear entry access should simply step backwards off of the forklift in the event a tip over occurs. One component that affects tip overs is an operator's knowledge of the center of gravity. The center of gravity is the concentration of the total weight of an object at a single point. Operators should also be knowledgeable of the combined center of gravity. This is the total weight of the load, the lift truck, and the operator concentrated at a single point. In the image displayed on the screen, you can see where the center of gravity of the forklift is, the center of gravity of the load, and where the combined center of gravity meets in the middle. When a load is unevenly distributed or handled unsafely, the center of gravity can move beyond the forklift mast, which would create a hazard for tip over and could cause the forklift to lose its rear wheel steering. As part of understanding safe load handling and the center of gravity principle, it is important that operators understand how load centers work. A load center is the distance from the vertical face of the forks to the load's center of gravity. In the images displayed on the screen, the top right image has a total depth of 48 inches. The center of this load would be 24 inches. In the image below, the distance of the load is 80 inches. The center of this load would be 40 inches. Along with the center of gravity principle and load centers, it is important that operators understand stability given the triangle of stability displayed on your screen. By looking at this image, we can see when the vehicle is loaded, the combined center of gravity shifts toward line BC. The vehicle's center of gravity when unloaded is indicated by the green circle on the screen. The center of gravity of the vehicle and the maximum load, theoretically, is indicated by the red circle on the screen between the front axle. This is important to understand because when the center of gravity and load center is moved beyond its normal operating capacity, the rear wheels, which normally control steering, can be lifted up off of the floor, reducing friction and therefore allowing the forklift to not be steered correctly. Now, let's look at the triangle of stability in action using a three-point suspension. In the first image, the forklift's center of gravity is centered below the seat of the operator due to unloaded forks. In the second image, this displays the combined center of gravity under normal operating conditions. The center of gravity for the load and the lift meet in the middle, indicated by the green circle. In the third image, this is for a load center beyond 24 inches, which would be beyond the normal operating condition for the forklift. The center of gravity for the load itself is further pulled out. This means that where the center of gravity for the entire system meets is beyond normal operating conditions. This can cause loss of steering and lead to tip over. Now that we have a better understanding of stability using the stability triangle and understanding centers of gravity, let's talk about combined actions. The center of gravity moves side to side on the first image when a forklift is turned too sharply or turned at a high rate of speed. The center of gravity moves forward in the second image due to sudden braking or stopping. This can cause loads to slide off of forks, or loss of control of steering on the rear wheel axle. In the third image, the center of gravity moves back toward the thin portion of the triangle when a sudden takeoff occurs. Let's discuss truck trailer safety. Fixed jacks may be necessary to support a semi-trailer and prevent upending during the loading or unloading when the trailer is not coupled to a tractor. Portable dock boards shall be secured in position either by being anchored or equipped with devices which will prevent their slipping. The brakes of highway trucks shall be set with wheel chocks placed under the rear wheels to prevent the trucks from rolling away while they are boarded with powered industrial trucks. It is the operator of the forklift's responsibility to verify that wheel chocks are in place. Failure to do so may result in safety violation disciplinary action. The following procedures shall be used when loading or unloading truck trailers. Operators shall always inspect the floor of the trailer to be sure that it will support the forklift and any loads. Ensure that the height of the entry door is adequate to clear the height of your vehicle, taking into consideration the height of the loading platform. Operators shall drive straight across the bridge plates when entering or exiting the truck trailer. Operators shall always use dock lights and headlights when working in a trailer. Both lighting systems, when equipped, are required to be used. Sound the horn when entering and exiting the trailer. In determining the capacity of the trailer floor to support a forklift, consider various factors, including the floor thickness and any cross-member spacing or unsupported floor areas. As an operator at National Trade Supply, you will encounter pedestrians within the workplace. Forklift operators should always be aware of conditions in their workplace, including pedestrian traffic. Operators should always yield to the right-of-way to pedestrians. When a person or a group of people walks across your planned route, stop, wait until the pedestrians pass by, and then proceed cautiously through any congested area. Operators should always sound the horn or other alarms when backing up. Let's review operator safety reminders. Slow down, stop, and sound horn at intersections, corners, and wherever your vision is obstructed. Utilize a spotter when operating within blind spots. Always look in the direction of travel. Keep a clear view. Start, stop, travel, steer, and brake smoothly. Do not allow anyone to stand or pass under the load or lifting mechanism at any time. When possible, make eye contact with pedestrians or other forklift operators. Passengers should not be allowed on forklifts unless the forklift is specifically designed to accommodate passengers. Unless authorized, never carry passengers. This means no riders. Use only specialized equipment designed to raise personnel to high work areas. Fall protection must be worn while utilizing the forklift man box. Only trained, authorized personnel are permitted to install and use the platform. Never transport employees on a platform. Employees can only be hoisted up and down. Never transport employees on the forks. Some powered industrial trucks in our facility require the use of fall protection. Fall protection is required while operating each of the below equipment. The personal fall arrest system for each vehicle is outlined below. For the order picker, the personal fall arrest harness and retractable fall restraint lanyard are required at all times. For the turret truck, the personal fall arrest harness and the fall arrest lanyard are required at all times. Fall protection equipment must be visually inspected daily for damages during your forklift inspection. The harness and lanyard must be inspected thoroughly prior to each use. Damages such as fraying of the webbing, tears, rips, bent metal components, broken plastic or rubber components, and all others must be reported to your supervisor immediately, and the harness shall be removed from service. Let's review fall protection equipment. In the top left image, proper use and wearing of a fall protection harness is shown. A good rule of thumb is to not allow more than 2 fingers of play between the harness and your body. Harnesses are made to be worn snug and should be worn as such at all times. The bottom left image shows how to properly put on your fall protection harness. Begin by detangling the harness completely. Next, place the harness shoulder straps over your shoulders. Adjust them appropriately so that they fit as designed. After that, adjust the leg straps and tighten the leg straps between your legs. The final step would be to clip the chest piece if equipped. Once done, you should adjust any and all straps for proper comfort and fit. We will review this as part of the hands-on operational and evaluation portion of this training. The next image is a fall protection lanyard. The last image, it is a fall protection retractable lanyard, also known as a self-retracting lanyard. Next, let's review how to properly charge the battery of the forklift. Begin by ensuring the key is turned off. Retrieve the battery charger labeled with the number that corresponds with the powered industrial truck's equipment number. All charging stations and powered industrial trucks are labeled with numbers. Next, disconnect the battery housing from the lift. Plug the corded battery housing from the lift into the corded charger plug housing. Once plugged in, charging begins on its own. When done charging, the lighted circle indicator will turn green. When taking off the charger, press the Done button, which is the button with the stop sign on it. For extra precaution, press the Done button anytime before disconnecting the charger, regardless of the indicator light status. Once complete, reconnect the powered industrial truck's corded charging housing to the battery housing. If the indicator light continues to blink red, This indicates the battery needs watered. In the event the battery needs watered, contact your supervisor to get the battery watered by an authorized person. Let's discuss battery servicing. Charging. Operators are required to complete the battery charger SOP training prior to operating any forklift. Operators are required to place equipment on their respective charger at the end of each shift or when not in use. Contact your supervisor to obtain the battery charger SOP. Only authorized individuals are permitted to perform battery watering. If you notice the red light flashing, indicating the battery needs watered, indicate the condition during your inspection and contact your supervisor to get an authorized person to water the battery. Battery watering may only be performed by trained employees when the battery has a full charge. Powered industrial trucks should not be used immediately after watering is performed. We at National Trade Supply do not conduct battery changing, including removal for diagnostic reasonings. The facilities coordinator will contact our forklift service contractor to perform such task. Please do not attempt to remove a battery on your own. Use of cell phones or other handheld devices, headphones, earphones, headsets, speakers, and all other handheld or electrical devices is strictly prohibited while operating forklifts within our facility. This completes today's Powered Industrial Truck Operator Safety Training. For any current or future Powered Industrial Truck Operator safety questions, please contact the Safety Manager at the contact information listed below. You will now take a quiz over this presentation and then participate in the hands-on operator evaluation portion of this training. Have a great day.